We're definitely deep into autumn now. The other night there were some pretty strong gusts, woke me several times. What's noticeable is the amount of rain we've had. Quite surprised at the Paulownia, they're all still upright. As I say, some of the gusts the other night were pretty severe, pretty strong. And yeah, I thought I'd have one or two of these down. Anyways, this one has definitely had a pounding from the wind. Though as I say, considering the huge leaves on these, they're pretty sturdy. They haven't rocked at all in their roots. There's no broken main stems, just the leaves coming off. The winds haven't been strong enough to affect any of the eucalyptus. What has been hugely noticeable is they're just looking so healthy and so vibrant. They've really picked up with all that hydration. These Leucoxylon probably aren't in the ground more than about 4 weeks, and just a totally new lease of life from being in the plugs to what they look like now. These Johnstonii, just the colour in the leaves are just all of a sudden, from being a bit peely-wally yellow, just vibrant green now. Fantastic, really pleased. The regnans just continue to thrive. Eucalyptus are really bendy, so I'm hoping that when we do have some gales, their bendiness will protect them. They're probably 4 metres tall now. These are subcrenulata. If you're looking for a hedge, then these are just fantastic. Look at the colour of the leaves on these. These are the same family as Johnstonii. And look at the amount of growth they're putting out now since that rain. Just incredible. These haven't been in the ground for, well, a year past July. Some of these 2.5, 3 metres tall. Very surprised. I didn't think they would grow this quickly. The poplar leaves starting to go black and yellow and die back. That's to be expected at this time of year. Very pleased with all of these, especially that Arbora variety. That's just really taken off. These are all swamp gum, Botryades and Robusta. Hoping these will do well in this spot. I did have some Robusta up on the top and they didn't do particularly well. What is noticeable though is, as I say, the rain in the last few weeks, and these have grown easily 45 centimetres, that one. Really healthy and just pumping out new growth now. I've been replanting some losses. These are camphora in this area mainly, with a couple of globulus here. And I managed to take the bush cutter to one of the camphora, so I've just popped in a globulus. These, likewise, the globulus are starting to do well here. These Rodwayi on the bank, they really did suffer with the dry conditions during the summer. These are a swamp gum. They're just recently though, just really with that rain, nice new growth despite the time of year. I didn't have any stock of Rodwayi earlier on in the year to replant some of the losses, which I hasten to add were due to the foxes and the crows digging them up. I haven't dosed them with milk kefir this time, and it doesn't look as though the crows or foxes are interested. I think the fox keeps the rats away. Just fabulous new growth though, hopefully you can see that. Really just in the last couple of weeks, just really starting to flourish. I do have good stock of Rodwayi now. my pick if you've got a particularly exposed area. And as you can see, this area is really exposed here on the bank. Oh well, spoke too soon. This is a Nitens which I replanted. I'll just quickly replant this one. The rest of them seem to be fine though. There were 3 in this area which I chopped down altogether. They didn't coppice, they were wind blown, and you can look back through all the videos on the Bog Lizard channel or on my website. They tried to put out leaves but they didn't survive. However, down here, this one here blew over. Hopefully you can see that. And I decided just to leave it, carry on. So it's gradually winding its way up this side of this Nitens. And what's interesting is it's putting out new growth from the base. So 2, 3 shoots from the base. Didn't notice the other 2. So I'll leave these, that's for sure, and I'll leave the main trunk until these become really well established, and then I'll probably chop it there so that it doesn't put so much pressure on the other tree. These Cinerea were just really scruffy. I do pass on the scruffy plugs. I hope they do as well for other people as they do for me here. Certainly every single one of these Cinerea is thriving now. Fantastic. Archery, snow gums, really pleased. Here's another loss that I replaced. It was a gunny eye, and if it had been a wetter spring and summer, it would have survived. But the dry conditions got to it. It's next door neighbour though, as you can see, it got on with it and established really healthily and vigorously again. Flowers at the end of October. Is that allowed in Ireland? Even some, I think that's heel all. And a few dandelions, or not sure if that's a dandelion. Be lots of seeds for the birds. Small flowers coming to their end. Quite amazing. Certainly been mild. Not sure what these are, with their beautiful fern-like leaves. The wind-blown Viminalis. Most of these are thriving, just incredible. But they didn't look all that healthy up until a few weeks ago, once we had all that rain. Then all of a sudden our leaves just started looking so much better. Fabulous. Lots of coppice off them in a few years. They didn't all survive. I took out one, I think, didn't survive. And again, I'd say it's more to do with hydration. This one's really thriving. It's put on 2 meters from the stump. Lots of new shoots. My best, or my strongest Viminalis, really starting to thicken up in the trunk. Becoming a tree. Some of these up on the bank, pretty sure this is a gunny eye. 7 meters tall, starting to thicken up. Really sturdy. Though I did say that about another one up here and it fell down, though I just left it. And likewise with the nitens there, it's putting out new growth from the base. So even in a few years' time I can cut that one back and it will still be a healthy, good tree. So I'll get some coppice off it. In the meantime, I'm just going to let it do its thing. More fresh plantings. These are MacArthuri, and I noticed quite early on MacArthuri were pretty wind resilient and tough. So this is south facing, but it is exposed. So I'm fingers crossed this will be a good choice for here. I'm pretty positive, to be quite honest. I'm more than hopeful these will be grand. Further around though, where the Atlantic gales come in, and then I've planted Rodwayi, which have proved themselves to be really tough and hardy. I still have really good strong stock of nitens ready for planting. And MacArthuri, really healthy, really strong. These are Globulus, got a few Globulus. Get in touch if you're interested, if they're not up in stock on the website. I'm going to definitely be planting a lot more Globulus. They're like nitens but can be coppiced. Regnans, if you want something that's going to grow very, very quickly, then Regnans certainly does. Getting on for 4 meters in a year. Leucoxylon, a bit experimental. Be a fabulous one for the beekeepers to try. Amazing displays of red flowers. I have a few Coriimba, hopefully I've pronounced that right. Citriodora, lemon scented gum. I'm not sure if they're on the website. Just get in touch if you're interested. These are the Johnstonii, and it has to be said, even in the plugs, these are now healthy, and they're big, getting on for 1 meter tall. Got a few Perenniana. So these tended to grow sideways for whatever reason, but they're healthy. And a few other varieties, Stellulata. I might plant them here myself, but if anybody's interested, just get in touch. A few Fastigata, same family as Regnans. And good stock of Rodwayi. And as I say, I'm a real fan of Rodwayi. Really tough and hardy and resilient, and if you want to grow firewood that you can coppice or log, then Rodwayi is grown commercially for firewood. Eucalyptus nitens, 3 years old, planted October 2019. The best of them getting on for 8 meters tall now, maybe a touch more. 3.5 years old, planted February 2019. Hope that helps. Good luck.